Now I gotta ride or die.
So guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see today, you join me from a slightly different location. We have the Series 1 out of the garage. We have the M4 over here with the boot open. That can only mean one thing: things are happening. As you can see, we have the garage open with the new banners just down the front. If you've seen my Instagram, you'll know full well that the new banners turned up, and well happy with the bottom half there. We've still got this bit to go. We need to move that table. This bit is where all of the wheels were, because I'm actually sorting out wheels at the moment, because I want to eventually get this 106 rally wheel, which I got with my 106, a standard Raptor 106 wheel, this Series 1 RS Turbo wheel, as you can see, and this Ronald LS wheel, which is actually off my first car. So this was the first, well, pretty much the first modification I ever bought. Other than coilovers, I bought these wheels and coilovers for my Corsa C way back when. We're talking 14 years ago, it must be now. I actually bought and had a blue Corsa before the limited Corsa, limited whatever it is edition Corsa Ds came out. Way before that was a massive stigma. I had a Corsa C, absolutely loved it. Best car I've ever owned, sort of, except for my Cadillac, but it was the best car to get me into cars. And yeah, these four wheels in green went on a blue Corsa, and thankfully, it must be about 7 or 8 years ago, I actually bought these back from a crashed Civic. They had actually been sold to a guy who then put them on his Honda Civic. I think it was an EG Coupe at the time. Green with green wheels. Yes, green with green wheels. That's what we did back then. You know, it's not that long ago, but it seems like a lifetime ago. And yeah, those wheels actually went on there and it was crashed. So one of them's actually buckled. So I never was going to actually use them for anything other than art, if that makes any sense. And the plan today is to get these tyres taken off these three wheels, because they're pretty much perished and completely dead. All of these tyres are absolutely no good. Never going to use them either, because they're a bit of an odd size for cars. This has got 16s on it at the moment, so I'm not going to need the 15-inch tyres off the standard wheels, and I'm not going to want to use this standard wheel. We'll point a few things out. Now, I do have two. I've sold this one to Jason because, and you guys, for guys or people that like OEM stuff, this wheel has really good markings from the original time it was painted from factory. Of course, it's got some damage, but they all have. But yeah, it's got really good markings still, whereas this one hasn't actually got that good markings on it. As you can see, it's been painted a few times. So this one is that I'm actually going to use to go on this wall. The plan is to actually have the wheels on the wall going along here, or maybe four in the middle, not too sure yet, but I do have a wheel bracket on its way to actually put up in a not so distant video. But I wanted to take you guys with me today because a little bit different content, laid back, and making art out of random wheels that I got over my lifetime from cars that I've owned, you know, and actually a car that I don't own anymore, a car that I don't own anymore, and a car that's never going to see these wheels. So why not use these wheels for some sort of art up here? We also need to get this down to MJG grits in the not so distant future. So this is the actual original bed from my D100. Many people out there may remember that truck. Around 2 years ago, I had it when I had my 106 GTR when I first bought it, and yeah, the bed had been cut up, but the owner of the truck when I bought it included the original bed that of course didn't fit on the back. There was basically different bed sides on the actual back of the truck, so it meant that this original piece couldn't actually be put onto the truck when I bought it, because it had basically what is a smaller tub on the rear of the truck. So this was actually included in the sale, and I said I really want that because one day I'm going to do something with it. Still to this day it is still sat here, but we need to actually get this completely sandblasted. We need all of these hooks off. As you can see, there's hooks on it going all the way down, and there is actually a number plate plume you can just see there that needs to be taken off as well. It will probably need welding up as well. There'll be a few bits, especially behind this number plate thing, I think we're gonna have to weld up. Then I want to paint it white, maybe. I think white would be quite, or a cream maybe, and yeah, get it put on the wall here. Again, just for art more than anything. I don't necessarily ever want to use these bits again, but I think just like the BMX, I know it sounds silly, but putting a BMX from my childhood on the wall is just a shout here. So I think making this section with this and these wheels will be really cool. in the not so distant future. But let's get these in the back of the M4 and take them down and get these crappy tyres taken off. Series 1 back in hexagon lighting goes off. This was from the guys at Get Hex. Have a look at them on Instagram if you want any lighting just like this. They are the guys to go to. The M4 actually swallows 3 wheels, well, small wheels, 14, 15-inch wheels, pretty well. I'm surprised. Lovely. And just like that, we are back. Loads of wood here. Must be something going on. Yes, we are doing things to the house and to the garage. Anyway, wheels are here. Big thanks again to National Tyres on the Isle of Wight coming through there very, very quickly. So quick, didn't even get a camera out. And yeah, we have everything off them basically. We needed all of this off because I wanted a little Ghetto refurb, I think, on 2 of these. Maybe leave the RS wheel as is because it's not too bad, it just needs a clean. Let's get on it. So many people are going to be triggered by what's about to happen. But I've just been using this very cheap tool from B&Q that I was actually using to do some countertops literally 2 days ago. I thought I'd use the rest of the pad up and actually go in on the wheels. Actually came out okay. This one isn't very nice at all, if I'm honest. These 106 rally wheels seem to go really rusty really quickly. Actually, this wheel did have a date stamp of 2001 on the tyre, so it's a 21-year-old tyre was on this, which is pretty good going, if I'm honest. Last time maybe this wheel saw the road. Those 2 are pretty much ready. Just gonna dab them down with a cloth, get a resprays, get some silver on. So let's just put you guys up there. Got to run through exactly how much this space cost me, because as you saw from what it is, a year ago now that this project sort of started. Not that it was a project, I just wanted to make it a nice usable space for videos, to keep a car in, you know, various things like that. So this is like started as a shell basically. Now the original owner of this house, I think this used to be a stable block, I'm assuming. Basically he compacted a lot of rubble into the floor because he was backing a van in here every day for tools and various things. That's why it looked the way it did when I initially, you know, have this and we started this. As you saw from, if you've been watching the videos from a year ago, you'll know how bad this space really was, and then going forward how much it's actually changed. So I've written down a few things that we did initially. Now we actually had to dig down 7 inches to get as much rubble and just general dirt and horribleness out of the bottom of this garage space. That obviously took a lot of time. Had to rent a digger, had to get a guy in, you know, had to do a pretty big job of getting everything up and then actually putting a concrete floor down. So we did this with the initial intention of pretty much being able to bring anything into this garage space. Yes, it isn't massive, don't get me wrong, but you could pretty much park a lorry in here because the concrete's that thick. So that's really, really good. Going forward, I like American cars. Yes, you might not be able to get the Cadillac in here, but it is a 2.5 ton piece of machinery, that car. So it's quite nice that if I ever do get a chance to put this in here and I think it fits and it just fits, it will obviously take the weight. Now, I know that isn't a massive deciding factor as to what you do with the floor, but for me, if we were going to go that far, I wanted to make it right. So yeah, that was one of those things. Didn't really express at the time how much was going on, especially with the floor, but that's pretty much what happened. And yeah, then concrete in the floor. Concrete's, you know, relatively expensive, quite a lot of it. You know how it is. We initially wanted to make this a false wall, which is what we did. Now, going forward, all we really needed to do was put more joists in to make it, you know, relatively structurally safe for a wall, and then boarding it up, which is what they did. I got someone else to do this because my handiwork is not that good. I'm going to say that now. I'd rather pay a professional to do it properly. So yeah, we got the same guy that did the floor to do the wall. After that, I sort of said to him, the roof needs, you know, repairing or replacing, and we got this relatively cheap, you guys would have seen it, it's by panel, so you get like a panel, knock it in, it's done. That's the stuff that was originally on here when I moved in, so we just replaced it basically, but we ended up replacing the whole roof, as well as replacing a little bits of the woodwork, mainly because it wasn't very nice, especially, and we'll get onto this, it has new garage doors, which you guys have seen in multiple videos. Basically the woodwork, where someone had, you know, in times gone by made the garage doors, not very nicely, but basically they'd put a bit of wood going right round the front of the garage, and it actually rotten so bad at the bottoms of the doors and the door frames that we needed to replace them. So we actually ended up replacing the whole, both sides of the doors, and then obviously taking out the initial bit of wood at the bottom for concrete, because concrete is obviously better than having wood on the floor. Secondly, woodwork, as we were talking about wood, this frame bit, so the frame bit going along the middle where the actual hexagon lighting is in, that was taken from sort of head height, which was sort of here, so you could just about get your head under it, and that was taken up obviously quite a substantial amount, making sure you're obviously keeping the structural integrity of the frame of the wooden structure that this is with brick and stuff. So, and as you can see, the Get Hexed lighting system, this transformed the space in my opinion. I wanted a nice light in here, and these guys came through. These are around 300 quid for a bay size, and I would personally think that's the best thing you can do to the garage space, because it makes it so much nicer in here. I know it's just a light, but it's like the coolest light. Look at it reflecting off stuff, and it's just the ambiance of the room really comes out. So yeah, hit those guys up if you would like any hexagon lighting, because yeah, this made the space in my opinion. Putting the roof on, all that it was quite a big job if I'm honest. It took them around a week and a half. Again, these are professionals. I wouldn't do this because I am not skilled whatsoever in building. And that was then painted, so you've painted everything. Put a little workbench in, nothing crazy, but just white the walls, grey the floor, white that wall, just white everything else, and black the whole roof. I've initially sort of said to them, yes, go black, but leave some space because I want to do a few bits. And yeah, I've gone and used some brick expanding foam stuff, and just, you know, chasing little holes that are around this, because again, this is an old property at the end of the day. It's the old house, so getting it's not necessarily watertight. Yes, watertight to a point, but to the point where, you know, it's not weathering. It's not going to get weathered in here, which is the main thing, just for the car more than anything, and the things that I put in here. And I think we've done a pretty good job. I'm still chasing little bits and bobs, and there's still bits I want to, you know, go around and actually put, say, a false bit up where you can't see, or you don't need to see bits. Yeah, there's still stuff to do. There always is in spaces like this, in my opinion. But all in, that part of the project, so we're talking all the woodwork, the roof, the floor, the digging out, guys' labour, everything was £2,900. I don't think that's the end of the world. I thought that was a pretty good deal considering how much work was done. Materials are expensive. It took a week and a half-ish to get done. And yeah, that was including making doors as well. So that was making doors and hanging them. So that's quite a big job on its own. I wouldn't want to hang and build doors. Just a lot going on. People may be asking about the stuff that I put on the wall, as you can see behind me. These are all relatively cheap off eBay, Alibaba, various places like that. A lot of the banners came up cheap. Not that I didn't want those banners up there, but the Roll Walt one was a tenner on eBay posted, so I thought, yeah, I'll definitely have that. Of course I will, because I've been there. It was fantastic. HKS, again, that was a relatively cheap one off eBay. The Cadillac one in the centre, I've had that since day dot. I've had that years. So that's the one that takes pride of place in the middle of the room. Skateboard, I think that was, again, that's another thing I've had years, but that was around 60 quid to get made at the time. I think they're about £100 to get made now. That was from an American company. And the various other things were actually free, in theory, because they're places and times in my life that I've been to. In-N-Out Burger, amazing. Up Garage in Japan, you know, and just various other things. First FYD sticker, just off camera there, but just things that mean a lot to me. Might not mean a lot to you. You guys may have been there for those parts of Nürburgring. Going to Hoonigan, just for corner there, you guys would have seen it. So yeah, just stuff that I've collected in my short YouTube life, really, are on this wall, which is quite nice. So yeah, I get to see that every day when I come and get the car out. And the Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels is, you know, £1.50 to £2 per Hot Wheel. So yeah, you're about, say we're about just over £3 all in. I've just recently built a bit just up here. So out of offcuts that I've got, as you've seen outside, an offcut here, and offcuts along there, and then a bit of bracing that side. This is just mainly for me to put little bits and bobs on. As you can see, there is Series 1 up there, like Series 1, Audi TT. I want to put all of my old cars up there, as I've shown you in previous videos. And yeah, this space will evolve. I want to get cabinetry down here, especially because there's sets of wheels and random other stuff. There's wheels here, there's hose pipe. I want to sort of combine all that into a hose pipe, maybe on the wall over there. You know, I don't really ever want to, I know it sounds silly and I probably shouldn't say this on camera, but I don't want to work from this space. I want to just have a showroom with a car in it and have a nice space to come and do little bits and bobs, yeah, painting here and there and doing little projects, but nothing crazy. I don't want to ever work on a car in here. I don't want to ever, especially the Series 1, I don't want to work on that in here. I don't want it to be that sort of garage. I want it to be like a little showroom and a piece of me in here, and a bit of a space where I can sort of get creative, put stuff on the wall and all that sort of stuff. So, hope you like this video though. About £3 is the answer. I know it's really late into the video, sorry about that, but yeah, it's about £3 I've spent, maybe over over 3 grand getting it to this point, and I think it's money well invested because it keeps this car nice, it keeps the space nice, I can put stuff on the wall, it makes, you know, the experience of opening up and getting this car out really, really cool. And yeah, not that the RS Turbo is ever going anywhere, but I always have somewhere nice to keep a car. Do you know what I mean? That's one of the hardest things as a car person, car guy, car girl, whoever you are. That's the hardest thing to sometimes get, is a space where you can actually enjoy knowing that your car is safe and well. And yeah, sometimes that's sort of the nicest thing, if I'm honest. That's why you'd spend the money. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did like today's video, please give it a like. I'd like to do more sort of, not DIY, this ain't a DIY channel, is it? As the wheels of Ghetto reverb's driving in the background. But yeah, I want to do more videos like this, just sort of explaining what's going on. Sometimes things happen so quickly in life, you miss what's happening. It's always nice to sort of let you guys in on what's really going on sometimes, so yeah, you guys may have seen these places that I've been to, and it means the world to me to even have an Up Garage sticker on the wall. I know it sounds so stupid, but yeah, I'm so grateful I've been there, and it's thanks to you guys. So yeah, this is sort of my appreciation more than anything of what we've achieved on this channel. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.